It was not a week to showcase the best the NFL has to offer. There were fumbles galore, a particularly ugly injury in Pittsburgh, multiple blowouts, and a sense that we already know who the real contenders are, which would make the bulk of the regular season a formality. But for an extreme optimist, there was some excitement buried beneath that baggage if one was willing to look for it, and there is still plenty of season left for a surprising contender or two to emerge. Here's what we learned in Week 5. The Packers are not what we expected, but they are doing just fine. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to open things up in coach Matt LaFleur's offense. That has yet to materialize, but Green Bay is 4-1 after rebounding from last week's disappointing loss to Philadelphia with a 34-24 victory in Dallas. Aaron Jones tied a Green Bay record with 4 rushing touchdowns. He has 8 for the season, matching his total from last year, and the Packers' defense, while allowing an ugly 563 yards, contributed to the win with 3 interceptions and 3 sacks. Justin Houston loves to make plays at Arrowhead Stadium. Number invskpic.twitter.com/PEWB1RSXMF. Justin Houston still likes playing in Kansas City. This offseason the Chiefs released Houston after 8 terrific years and 4 Pro Bowl appearances. In his return to Arrowhead Stadium, Houston had 4 tackles, a sack, a quarterback hit and 2 tackles for a loss, including a huge stop on a 4th and 1 running play late in the fourth quarter that all but decided the game in the Colts' favor. The dominant defensive performance from Indianapolis in the 19-13 victory over Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs ended an N.F.L. record streak of 25 regular season games in which Kansas City had scored 25, Oregon more points, a streak that went back to when Alex Smith was still the Chiefs' quarterback. It's time to pump the brakes on the Daniel Jones enthusiasm. Jones won his first 2 starts for the Giants in place of Eli Manning, but against Minnesota this week, a team that typically struggles to play outdoor games on the road, Jones finally lost, and looked every bit the rookie, passing for just 182 yards and throwing an interception while his offense generated just 10 points. In his last 2 games, Jones has combined for 2 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions. Next week's assignment, a road game in New England, where first and second-year starting quarterbacks have combined to go 1-36 in the regular season since 2001. Playmaker at marlon_humphrey pic.twitter.com/AQJMY12TWK. Punching the ball out works. Sunday's early games were dominated by fumbles, with 30 forced over the course of the 10 games, 12 of which resulted in turnovers. Time after time, a defender approached a ball carrier with a clear goal of jarring the ball loose rather than settling for a simple tackle. It's a move that has been prevalent for years, but its efficacy led to a chaotic day, with a combined 6 fumbles being forced in Houston's win over Atlanta, and Baltimore sneaking out of Pittsburgh with a win thanks to Marlon Humphrey's decision to swat the ball out of Juju Smith-Schuster's hands in overtime, a play that led to the Ravens' game-winning field goal 4 plays later. The NFL can't stop reminding people about its inherent danger. Mason Rudolph, the starting quarterback of the Steelers, took a vicious helmet-to-helmet shot from Baltimore's Earl Thomas and was knocked unconscious during Pittsburgh's loss. Rudolph's teammates were visibly distraught by how still he was immediately after the play, and while the second-year player eventually got to his feet, even his departure made the NFL look bad, as Rudolph's awkward staggering to the sideline was necessitated by the injury cart breaking down on the field. The Dolphins don't have the number 1 pick wrapped up. It's hard to argue a team has been worse than Miami this season, but losses are losses, and the Redskins, 0-5, Jets, 0-4, and Bengals, 0-5, add more each week. Fans at Washington's FedEx Field were even chanting Brady. Brady, for the opposing quarterback. Next week's game between the Redskins and Dolphins, who had a bye this week, would be called the Tua Tagovailoa Bowl if Washington hadn't used its first-rounder on Dwayne Haskins this year, only to bench him this week for Colt McCoy. Watson worked for the Falcons as a ball boy in high school, but he showed no sentimentality as he destroyed his hometown team. The Panthers running back had 176 rushing yards, 61 receiving yards and 3 total touchdowns as Carolina held off Jacksonville for a 34-27 win at home. McCaffrey now has 866 yards from scrimmage for the season, the second most in NFL history through 5 weeks to Jim Brown's 988 in 1963, according to Pro Football Reference, and is on pace to easily break Chris Johnson's single-season record of 2,509, which the Titans running back achieved in 2009. But McCaffrey shouldn't let his head get too big. His only pass attempt of the day fell incomplete. After a comically outrageous performance in Houston's win, Fuller showed some serious modesty when talking about the impact his fellow wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, has on coverages during Texans games. "Playing with Hop, like I always say, is easy," Fuller told reporters. "He gets a lot of coverages thrown his way, and I feel like that's why they brought me here, to help him out. It took me a while, but I finally had this big game, so I'm just trying to help out. Except when it takes two." Patriots 33, Redskins 7. Tom Brady's 348 passing yards gave him 71,923 for his career, pushing him past Brett Favre into third place on the NFL's all-time list. Colts 19, Chiefs 13. Marlon Mack ran for 132 yards, giving Indianapolis just enough offense to pull off an enormous upset in Kansas City. Panthers 34, Jaguars 27. Kyle Allen is 3-0 since taking over for the injured Cam Newton at quarterback, but Jacksonville's Gardner Minshew made Allen work for this one in a game that came down to the final seconds. Packers 34, Cowboys 24. Dak Prescott set a career high in passing yards and Amari Cooper set a career high in receiving yards and Dallas lost anyway. Saints 31, Buccaneers 24. It took 1,387 days, but Teddy Bridgewater got the second 4-touchdown performance of his career. Eagles 31, Jets 6. Philadelphia's offense barely showed up and the Eagles still won by 25 points. The Jets, at least without Sam Darnold, really are that bad. Texans 53, Falcons 32. Houston got away with fumbling the ball 5 times thanks to the Texans' offense, making the Falcons' defense look like, well, the Falcons' defense. Bills 14, Titans 7. Buffalo's defense continues to be extraordinary, and thanks to Josh Allen returning from the league's concussion protocol, its offense was good enough to win. Ravens 26, Steelers 23. Baltimore won this game, but the Ravens should be extremely concerned about Lamar Jackson's rapidly deteriorating passing. He has 5 interceptions over his last 2 games after throwing none in his first 3. Vikings 28, Giants 10. If not for Carolina's Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook might be the talk of the NFL. Minnesota's running back had 218 yards from scrimmage on Sunday, and is up to 742 for the season. Cardinals 26, Bengals 23. Kyler Murray did not throw a touchdown pass, but he ran for 93 yards and a touchdown, and, much more important, he got his first career win. "We needed to win this game just for the morale of the team," Murray told reporters. Raiders 24, Bears 21. Josh Jacobs, a first-round pick out of Alabama, did not seem intimidated by Chicago's defense, running for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. "We were up for the challenge," Jacobs told reporters. Broncos 20, Chargers 13. Coach Vic Fangio finally got a win thanks to a big day from his defense and a solid effort from Phillip Lindsay, the team's second-year running back.